Hey Taurus, welcome to Aria Moon Tarot, and thank you so much for being here. This is your love reading for anyone with Sun, Moon, or Rising in Taurus. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't, check your other placements. All right, let's get started. So we have Trickster. That's really interesting energy. And we also have King. Okay. I think that there's something about this person that's really different. And I do have to say that, like, for some reason in your reading, this hasn't happened in the other readings, but for some reason I'm seeing, like, what initially attracts you to this person. And I'm also seeing very clearly what are things that you learn about this person as your relationship progresses. Because they're very different. I think you immediately pick up on this first energy of the trickster, and then later learn about this king energy that this person possesses. So what is really initially drawing you to this person is there's something different about them. Like there's something that stands out to you as different. So this might be somebody who doesn't fit into like whatever your usual type is, if you feel like you have a type. Maybe you don't really feel like you have a type, but you kind of always find yourself dating people who are into these certain things, or are like whatever certain height, or have a certain color hair, something like that. But this person's completely different in some way, something that you don't expect, something that kind of shakes things up for you. So it might not be a physical difference. It could be that the two of you come from different backgrounds. It could also be that you've had very different life experiences. So you're just drawn to the parts of them that are kind of foreign to you. It could be something like that. But I think that you love that this person brings something new to the table. And it's something that you pick up on very early on. This is also somebody with a very good sense of humor, and they really make you laugh and you enjoy that. So you're really into this person's, it's like their personality. So this isn't necessarily an attraction that starts out physically. It could, like I was saying, there could be something different or eye-catching about their appearance that does draw you in, but I think you are more drawn to this person's, to elements of their personality that are a lot of fun. This person is a lot of fun. You really appreciate their humor, and you appreciate this bright, lighthearted energy and playful energy that they bring to any situation that they're in. The thing about them is they don't take themselves too seriously, and it's actually interesting because we have this king energy here, but this is someone who definitely doesn't take themselves too seriously. They know how to laugh at themselves. They might like crack jokes at their own expense a lot of the time. And I think they really make you laugh with that. They know how to lighten the mood. So if you're in like a really tense or uncomfortable situation, they will definitely, they'll crack a joke, or they'll do something to lighten the mood and to kind of take the pressure off. And you love that about them. And this is like something that you knew about them right away. This could even be if you're kind of in this person's orbit, like maybe you work with them or you've gone to school with them or something. I think you see them doing this maybe even before you start talking to them romantically. You're like, I like them. They're funny. They always make me laugh, even when it's inappropriate, even when I shouldn't be laughing, or even when I was in a really bad mood. They can always kind of lift my spirits. You love that about them. What I also see about this person is they can be very spontaneous, okay? Like, they don't like boring. They don't do boring. They like to shake things up. They like for things to be exciting. They like for a little bit of variety to be available to them. And if it's not there, they will create it. They're interesting that way. They're creative in that way. And I feel like this is someone who probably doesn't work a traditional job. If they do, they have definite ideals about not working in a traditional setting. So even if they have a very good job, and again, I'm drawn back to this king energy, so there is kind of an indication that they might have a very good job, that they might make a lot of money, that they might be very successful. But I feel like this is somebody who might not work traditional hours, or might not work in a traditional setting. So they may work from home. They might have the kind of job that allows them to work from anywhere. They might work in an environment that allows them a lot of freedom and creativity. Maybe they work in a creative field. And I'm thinking of like those offices that are like super hip and like open concept, and everybody just kind of like hangs out. Like it's not structured. It's not like cubicle setting. I feel like this is the type of thing that this person wouldn't like. And if they do work in that sort of setting, they try to bring in as much variety and spontaneity to the other like elements of their life as often as they can, because they really have this this need for the spice of life and for variety. I feel like what's interesting is there's a certain amount of trust that I'm picking up on with this connection. Like you trust this person completely. And at the same time, you never know what to expect from them. So it's very interesting energy. And I think this is something that as your relationship progresses, as you get to know this person a little bit better, and this could happen in just like the space of a week. It's not something I think takes you long to discover about them, but it's like they have this wild side to them. They have this crazy side, but they also have this really stable king energy. So what's interesting is you can really enjoy all of the variety that they bring to life, that spontaneous side, that wild side of them, without ever having to worry, because they have this stability as well. You know you can trust them. You know that they make good decisions. You know that they're responsible. So this trickster energy isn't coming through as someone who's very irresponsible or who's like wild beyond all belief and can't be controlled and like acts like a child. I think they do have a childlike side to them, but they also have this very responsible side. They take their responsibilities very seriously. For some reason, this king makes me think of the King of Pentacles. Of all the kings, this is definitely King of Pentacles energy, very grounded, earth energy, very stable. This is an abundant king. So like I was saying, this is somebody who like, they know how to make money. This would be somebody who, even if they don't work a traditional job, maybe they aren't even like traditionally employed, like where people kind of look at them like, well, what do you even do? They know how to make money. They might be somebody that like invests their money, or they're an entrepreneur. They start their own businesses, something like that. They know how to make money. I feel like they have all of their responsibilities taken care of, and they also like to bring in a lot of that. I'm trying to think of another word for it, because spontaneous and wild just keeps coming to mind. But, you know, they like to bring in an unpredictable energy. Yeah, I feel like whatever they do, they're successful at it. This is somebody who's a born leader. They have that boss energy, like real boss energy, but they don't let their power go to their head. So like I was saying, they don't take themselves that seriously. They're not pushy. They're not egotistical. They don't try to like just trample right over you. They know how to have fun. They know how to relate to people. They're very down to earth. I think you like how they have this stability to them and this dependability, but also that they have this really fun side to them, because that energy can, it can feel like it's stuffy, and that's not them at all. Not at all. They really, I don't know. I feel like this person's like 1 in a million here. Like there's something so interesting about them, and it's not It's not the kind of thing that you see all the time. Somebody who's able to be successful, take care of all their responsibilities, and still have a lot of fun and keep things interesting. So let's see what else comes through. What else you like about this person, what you love about them, or what you love about this relationship. Okay, we have the Thunder card. Let me pull one more, and then we will talk about that. We also have Squirrel. Okay. If that's not a repeated message, I don't know what is. So spontaneity is again being kind of thrown at us here with this Thunder card. This person catches you by surprise all the time. They may literally surprise you with little gifts, with maybe trips, unexpected trips that you didn't plan on taking. They might show up like at your job or at your house or something unexpectedly with flowers. They like to surprise you. They love surprising you. And some of the sweet things that they will do for you, you will never see coming. Like, I feel like they never cease to amaze you. It's funny because I feel like this person almost teaches you how to love being surprised. I feel like you might be the type of person that doesn't really like surprises, or maybe you've had some like not so great surprises in the past and you would rather know what's going on. This is somebody, if you're in that boat, this is someone that they keep you in a place of looking forward to the next surprise because they know how to cater to like your preferences. They know exactly what you would like, exactly what's going to be thrilling. They think about everything. That's kind of like that king energy. Like, sometimes the reason that spontaneous people or people who like to surprise you are no fun at all, and you don't want to seem like you're ungrateful, but it's like, it seems like they didn't think it through. Like, like they want to surprise you and take you somewhere, and you're like, but don't you know that I have this other commitment? Like, we already talked about this, so I can't possibly do that, you know? So it kind of steals the romance and like the great side of the surprise. This is somebody who's always thinking, they're planning, they're very grounded and stable in that way. So they're not going to throw a surprise at you that makes no sense. They will have taken care of everything. And if an issue arises in your mind, like, well, I can't do that because I don't have, you know, like a cat sitter or whatever it might be, you know, I didn't tell my roommate or whatever, they've already taken care of it. Whatever might be a hindrance to making the surprise a great thing, they've already taken care of it. They've already thought of it. So that Thunder energy is really a reiteration of this trickster energy. And then we have the Squirrel, which the Squirrel is about saving. It's about planning. So this is really that grounded energy, that responsible energy combined with the impulsive and spontaneous nature again. So this is really something about this person. It's something that you learn to love about them. Like, I say learn because I think initially you don't even know this about them. They might come across as somebody who is a little bit flighty and who's like just a jokester, like someone who's fun to be around, but they're not very responsible. But you quickly find out that this person is very, very responsible. I wouldn't be surprised if this person has a lot of earth and fire in their chart, because that's kind of how this is coming through. So they might have like a fire sign sun, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and like an earth sign moon, like their moon's in Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or vice versa. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how their chart lays out, because that's the energy. That's what's coming through here. Very fiery, passionate, spontaneous, and very grounded at the same time. So this is the type of person that they wouldn't plan a spontaneous vacation with no money in the bank. They would never do that. They would make sure that all their bills are paid. They would make sure that all their ducks are in a row. but they also like to have fun, and they break the rules, and they challenge the idea that just because you're really successful or just because you're in a position of power that you have to be really stuffy and uptight. They don't feel like that at all. They have kind of like a coolness about them, I want to say. Yeah, like they know they're a boss too. That's the thing. They know they're a boss. I've already dropped 2 cards, so that's how this is going. Yeah. Let me shuffle this, and we're going to look in the tarot and see kind of like what your relationship with this person is like. I can tell you there's some spontaneity to it, clearly, because this person doesn't know how to do it any other way. We have the Knight of Emotions. Okay, that's too many. So this is somebody who will make romantic gestures towards you. The 8 of Voices came out in reverse. That's 8 of Swords. They will make romantic gestures towards you with that Knight of Emotions. And I feel like we're kind of discussing that. Like, they will plan the spontaneous thing. They will surprise you, and they'll let you know how they feel. So your relationship with them will keep you guessing, will keep you on your toes. 8 of Wands, 8 of Inspiration. Ten of Inspiration. That's 10 of Wands energy. I'm going to pull one more. I feel like this one wanted to come out too. It's a 3 of Pentacles. This is so many cards though, because I was going to take the bottom of the deck. So, yeah, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there, because I'm seeing the message here that's coming through. So this person is very open to you, very emotionally available, and I actually see. I think the two of you you do like to chill and kind of relax together. So I want to point that out. But what I'm seeing here with this, this 10 of Inspiration following the 8 of Inspiration, so that's 8 of Wands energy and then the 10 of Wands energy coming right after it. I think that this connection happens really, really fast. And I think that that's probably because this person has that spontaneous side to them. They have that like all in side. They're a gambler. Like they are willing to take a chance. And I think that sometimes they're that fiery energy about them can kind of scare you. So I think that this is somebody who is all in. It's like that thunder. It's like a thunderclap. It's startling to you. So it's someone who is all in, but it can almost feel like too much to you sometimes. And I think that this is the beginning energy. This is before you realize that they have that stability to them. But it can be a little bit like, it feels like a bit of a burden to you for a minute. I'm not going to lie. It feels like, whoa, slow down. Like, we can't just go off here. We can't just, I think this person they're going to want to move in together really fast. They want to do everything really fast. And I do think that you have this side of you that's like, can we slow down just a little bit? Because it just might take you a little bit longer to process all of this. But this is somebody who's used to making moves. When they see what they want, they go for it immediately. What I'm seeing here is that the two of you work really well together. There's a lot of like teamwork and cooperation after a period of getting to know each other and getting to know like how the other one works, because I think that it's a matter of speed. This person goes so fast, you go a little bit slower. I feel like even if you think you're a person who is ready to go, you want to rush in, when you meet this person, they go at a speed you hadn't really imagined. And you're like, hey, even for me, this is a little bit fast. Can we slow this down? But they're very upfront about their feelings for you. And they are very ready to go. But I do see the two of you working through that and kind of developing a better understanding of the pacing that is comfortable for each of you. We had this 8 of Voices come out in reverse. So there is kind of a feeling of, I think this is on both of your ends. I think that there's a feeling of both of you kind of releasing some of your limiting beliefs when it comes to relationships. And I think you do it in very different ways. So I'm thinking for your person, they may be somebody that didn't really see themselves settling down because they do move really fast through the world. They do everything really fast, and they might not have thought of themselves as somebody who would just settle down with one person and be completely content. But when you come into their lives, it switches something up for them. And I feel like the same thing is happening for you, maybe about a different aspect of this relationship. Maybe it has to do with the speed this person wants to move. Maybe it has to do with your limiting beliefs when it comes to a relationship working out. Like this being actually something that can work out and something that you can have. But it feels like the release of this emotion and the willingness to move forward with this Knight of Emotions here is what kind of breaks both of you out of a cycle of limiting beliefs. Because the 8 of Voices can be like, it's kind of the feeling of being trapped in a prison that isn't really there. And so it's like, I think from past experiences, you might be kind of trapped in this feeling of like, this is how relationships go, or this is all I can have, or this is how people act. It might even be your first impressions of this person, because they can come across as someone who's irresponsible, and they're actually very responsible. So it's like, I think there's a lot, you're kind of changing your mind. You're changing your mind about them. They're changing their mind about what they're willing to give in a relationship. But I do think that the speed, it's sort of it's giving me that 10 of Wands energy. It's their speed. It's the willingness, which you would think wouldn't bother you. But I do think that because this person is so spontaneous, it does kind of startle you. And then I'm seeing you kind of like take a step back and let them know that you need to slow down. And then I see the two of you working very well together at that point. Let's see what else we can pull. I think what I'm picking up from this reading more than any of the others is that this relationship moves super, super fast. I feel like even once you kind of slow it down a little bit, it's still really fast. Like, it's startling in some way. Yeah. You had the wedding card come out. So, right as I'm saying that, is this I feel like the commitment level that happens really on in this relationship is intense. This could be a case of getting married super fast and eloping. If not that, it's just there's commitment. There's serious commitment happening. 8 of Wands speed here. We had religious factors. Interesting. I wonder if, so your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Maybe this person wants to get married really fast. Maybe they, they believe that the two of you should be married, maybe before living together or something, and it kind of rushes things. Or this could be religious factors on your end. Maybe some kind of traditional mindset or belief. We have flirt. So there's a lot of flirtatious energy between the two of you. Really interesting reading. I think this person, like, they threw me for a loop and I'm not even in it. So I totally get you kind of being in this like, whoa, this is a lot. I need to slow down. But the thing about this person's totally genuine and totally willing. And once you see that they have this king energy, and like I was saying, it's like King of Pentacles energy. It's like totally reliable, totally dependable. Once you see that, you really change your mind about this person. You understand them, and the two of you can formulate a plan that works for you and works for your relationship. But, yeah, I think they come across as a little bit flighty because you're like, you can't be serious, right? You're not serious. And they are. That's what's funny about this. They're totally serious. So a lot of commitment right out of the gate. They surprise you in every way. We were talking about that, but I think the biggest surprise is how open they are about their emotion, how quickly they want to move things forward with you. That's probably the biggest surprise that they throw your way, and the thing you might be in like absolute disbelief about. But that's them. And I think it's about like putting your heads together and learning each other. And then it's actually a really beautiful relationship, and there's a lot of love and there's a lot of stability here. As crazy as it all sounds, it turns out there's a lot of stability. So yes, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm losing light rapidly, so hopefully you can see the cards clearly enough. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If you liked this reading, if you resonated with any part of this, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you again really soon in another reading. Bye!